When you leave them behind, you're putting their lives at risk, and they don't have a way to get away and escape when the weather comes through.
Well, it's the newest law protecting animals during storm season or when bad weather rolls through. Louisiana's latest leash law makes it illegal to tether an animal during a flood or hurricane, protecting both pets and first responders.
And while animal advocates are rallying behind this piece of legislation, saying it's a step in the right direction, they're now pushing for tougher penalties against offenders. During the floods of 2016, hundreds of animals across southeast Louisiana had to be rescued, stranded in floodwaters while tied to tethers or leashes, unable to escape Mother Nature's wrath.
So that was really the impetus for wanting to change the law.
The images of these animals in distress prompted Senator Troy Carter to draft Senate Bill 160, prohibiting the tying or tethering of a dog or cat in extreme weather conditions. It not only protects the animal, but those first responders trying to save them.
We've had a lot of rural parish shelters have actually had to put their employees' lives at risk going out there to rescue these dogs that have been tied up during a flood or a hurricane-related event. Since Hurricane Katrina, many parishes have enacted plans for pets in the event of a storm. And this latest legislation pushes all pet owners to do the same.
You know, they are living creatures, they do suffer, and it is your responsibility to take them with you and to have a plan for that.
While they applaud this new law, animal advocates would like to see tougher restrictions because it only penalizes an offender up to $75.
Well, that is disappointing that, the penalty is not very significant.
When it went to the Senate Agriculture Committee, the vote was unanimous that the penalty should be lowered to $75.
The SPCA would like to see the fine increased to at least $300 and see the bill eventually enacted year-round and not just a weather event. However, it's a start, and advocates plan to tighten this tether law by seeking additional changes in the legislature in the coming years. And the Louisiana SPCA says they would also like to see limits placed on the lengths and weights of these tethers or chains. So say an animal can't get wrapped around a tree or have something heavy like they're constantly pulling. And in addition to this new bill, which is set to take effect August 1st, the Louisiana SPCA worked with Senator Carter on another animal legislation called the Good Samaritan bill. It essentially allows a person who sees an animal or child in a hot car or distress break that window to save them without facing legal repercussions.
Our officers often go out on calls where animals have been left in a vehicle, and at the moment, there really are up to this law. There wasn't a way for our officers to get into that vehicle and, save that animal without other law enforcement coming out.
Now, there are specific steps that have to be taken, though, for somebody to not be liable. First, you have to call for help. So first, dial 911. This applies to any parish. Next, after breaking into the vehicle, you have to stay at that vehicle with the animal or child until help gets there. This is to ensure that a person doesn't vandalize somebody else's property. The person who leaves an animal or child in a hot car could be found negligent.